Thank you for tuning into the channel. This is my Bell Super 3R. Stay tuned, I'm going to give you a detailed review of all the features that make this a great helmet and one worth considering if you're looking to upgrade your personal protection when out on the trail. Now, the thing that drew me to this helmet, I wanted something that was more multifunctional rather than having loads of helmets in the garage. So this one sort of stands out from the crowd because it's at the right price point for me personally. This was £150 about 3 months ago in the UK. I'll link it in the description. I got it from Evans Cycles and that was a good deal at the time. So it's about £50 saved on this particular helmet, hence the reason shopping around. But it's the full face helmet with the removable chin guard, and that's exactly what I was after. So I can take it in the van, go to a bike park. I've got the option to put it on, don't need a separate helmet. But for my more sort of standard trail riding, I can remove the chin guard, keep it in the van and just go out of the helmet itself. And that to me is perfect functionality of a helmet that is just going to do it all. So I'm going to break it down right now and you'll get to see exactly how this works. This mount's fantastic because it comes with the helmet as standard. So as soon as you take it out of the box, you'll see that it's already pre-installed and it will fit any action camera as long as you've got the components to be able to attach it to the mount itself. And that normally comes with the cameras, so that shouldn't be an issue. Held together on the helmet initially with this piece of Velcro on the back, and that's been threaded underneath the helmet in the factory. So once you remove that, and I won't do the whole thing, but you can then push the mount forwards and it disconnects from the helmet. So held together by the front piece on the mount and also the rubber grommet that's in the helmet, you can see a recess there, and that secures it really, really well in place. So once you fit that back in, thread the Velcro through, and then just pull it nice and tight, don't have to do it too much, and then it's secured in place. So it's going to keep your camera safe, but I like the feature because it's removable, so if you're not into filming any of the action camera side of it, you can take it off, but then if you want to do that later on down the line, of course you can stick it back on. So it's a good feature and it comes as standard. I'd imagine if you were to break this though, you would have to go to Bell Direct because it is a very unique mount. And there's probably other ways that you can get around it, but the one to fit this particular helmet you would have to buy separately because I haven't seen this one anywhere else. So going back to what I said earlier, the main reason I purchased this helmet is because I wanted that full face option, and of course this one offers it with the removable chin guard. It is such a simple process to remove the chin guard. You have one of these each side which clip it in place, and I'll show you very, very shortly when I put this back together exactly how that works. So that's one side done. So turn it round, just pull the clip, and then one final one on the rear, just here, and then you can pull it apart, and then there you have the helmet itself. So a very, very simple process, as you can see, just giving you the option dependent on the trail that you're riding on. But inside you'll see you've got all your foam inserts, you can remove them, adjust them as you need to. But the main purpose of the MIPS system is this plastic layer that's in here. And there is a space in between the foam and that plastic, and it's held into place with like mounting brackets. So the idea is it will reduce, it certainly doesn't eliminate anything, but it will reduce the impact on the head and reduce the possibility of any brain injury. And that sounds pretty harsh, but you know, we wear helmets to prevent that. So of course it's nice to know that if we can reduce it, that's certainly something I'm always going to look forward to wearing. So with that system, difference being compared to the Bell of my daughter's, if she fell she would feel 100% of that impact within this area. But what you have here is a system that rotates internally inside the helmet and will give you that barrier between the foam layer and this layer, so some of that impact is reduced by that section there before you then impact on the foam itself. Now you don't have to come off fast, it can be slow, it can be awkward. You just want to offer yourself maximum protection on the head, because that's, you know, a broken leg can be fixed, a head injury might cause you severe problems later on down the line. So this system here, multi-directional impact system, it's not a gimmick, it really, really is good. The helmet still maintains its comfort like anything else you'd expect, but a feature as standard with this helmet, because it's on the more premium end of the market, it's certainly something to consider. So as I mentioned earlier, this is a large, that's 58 to 62 centimeters, and it's adjusted by this dial on the back. So when you rotate it, it will tighten on the head. All I do every single time, regardless, is I just loosen it up, not as much as I can, but loosen it up so that it just fits nice and secure on the head initially, and then of course get it at the right position just by adjusting, because if you try and get it on at the point where you've had it perfectly adjusted before, you might overstretch it slightly. So just take care of the system. It works absolutely fine. It secures in place really, really well, and it honestly is a very, very comfortable helmet. The chin guard itself, a couple of things to say on this. These cheek pieces, as long as you get the helmet sizing right, they are nice and secure to the face, so it gives you that confidence that this helmet's going to do the business should something go wrong. But what I like in particular is if things do wear out, these are detachable from the helmet, so I'll just show you that. They just clip on with these poppers, and once you have it removed, you can then either replace it as a whole unit or undo the Velcro and replace those protective pads inside there. So that works really well, and it just clips back in. It's a nice and simple process, but if you damage them, it's nice to know that that's actually replaceable rather than having to replace the whole helmet. So when you want to put the chin guard back on, it's a very simple process. You do have a couple of lugs here, which I'll point out now because they do line up on certain positions of the helmet itself. So when you have your helmet, it lines up at the rear here on both sides. And then just make sure you push this side in as well, because that does marry up quite well. Now at the back, I tend to do this one first. So that's one of the three done. Very, very simple. And then on the side it clips into place, and then turn it over. On the other side, there's no force that needs to be used, and it just clicks back easily into place. I think it's very important to show you how this actually connects to the helmet. So we've seen that it's the three clips and then all of a sudden the chin guard's back on. But the way it secures itself properly, so that you can understand the process, you can see the clip there. Alright, this is like a metal hook, and then on the helmet itself you have a recess which that fits into. So when you line it up correctly, like that, and you pull the clip back, the metal hook bites into that section of the helmet and secures it in place. So that's how it actually works, and that's quite a clever system, but it just does give you a bit more confidence that that is secure to the helmet itself rather than just clipped in by those lugs that I sort of demonstrated to you before. So that no helmet review goes without showing you what it looks like when it's on. So remember what I said before, make sure that's nice and loose at the back. I'll show you it in its full face state. Just undo the clips, and here we go. So I put it on and then tighten the clips up and then do the chin. There you go. So if I want to have that up, brilliant. Down, action camera on the top, everything's good to go. So I've arrived at my trail. I don't want the chin guard on, so you're going to get to see how this looks on my head with it removed. We do the clips. Remember, nice and easy, just 3 clips. Very, very simple. Make sure it's loose at the back. Plonk it on. Tighten it up. Like I said, it's a very, very comfortable helmet. And then do the chin strap. Visor still works. Action camera is still on top because I like getting all that action. But that is the review of my Bell Super 3R. So tips, make sure you look around and get that discount. And just be aware of some of the colour schemes, because the black and what looks like red is actually black and pink. So just be careful of that. Now, if you like this video, rate it, comment. Love to hear what you've got to say about this. But more importantly, if you want to subscribe, press that logo down there, the subscribe one, and there's going to be plenty more good stuff to come. So I'll see you for the next one.